I'm Harrison Graham.
And I'm Chase Sr. We just launched a new show here at Chat Sports. We'll be going live every single Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific.
So subscribe and join us every single week here on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. This video you're about to watch aired from that live show, so sit back and enjoy. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers here on our brand new Thursday show. It goes live every Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central Time. Haven't settled on a show name. If you have any ideas, let us know in the comments. I'm Harrison Graham. He is Chase. And, the theme of this show surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers is this idea that the Lakers are too old to win a title next year. Where do you sit on that? There's a lot to dissect here. This is an old roster, but are you buying into that? Are they too old to win?
I don't think the Lakers are too old to win a championship. In fact, I think what they've done throughout this offseason and during NBA free agency has been very, very smart. I love what Rob Pelinka and LeBron James have done with assembling this roster. And I've said this a couple of times on the Los Angeles Lakers Report, which is our Lakers channel here at Chat Sports, that why I think what they've done is smart is for this reason. They're all in for this year because, Harrison, this year is the only thing that matters. LeBron James is 36 years old. He's going to turn 37 years old in December. Who cares about what this franchise looks like in 2, 3, 4 years? If LeBron and the Lakers are able to win a championship here in the 2021-2022 season, that's all that matters. That adds to his legacy. That gives the Lakers their 18th championship in the history of that illustrious franchise, overtaking the Boston Celtics. So while they might be old from an age standpoint, which they certainly are, I think they're well positioned to make a run at the NBA championship this year. And I think this is a pretty talented roster with a lot of complementary pieces up and down the team. And I think LeBron James is still arguably the second best player in the NBA behind Kevin Durant. So I expect LeBron James to have an MVP caliber season this year because before he went down with that ankle injury last year, he was putting together a very, very impressive season. We'll look and examine the Lakers' age of this roster coming up here in just a second. But my answer to that question is no, they're not too old to win the title. And while I enjoy some of the humor of people throwing out pictures of LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony looking like a grandpa, which is absolutely hilarious, they have plenty of talent to compete for a title this year. And I think Rob Pelinka deserves a lot of credit for how he's been able to assemble this roster.
Let me say this as clearly as I can. The Lakers will sink or swim with LeBron James. And what do I mean by that? I mean that I agree with Chase in saying that this team isn't too old to win a title. This team doesn't have too many personalities to win a title, too many egos. However, and maybe this is true every year with LeBron, but I think even more so this year, I think LeBron is the most important player in the NBA. If he gets hurt, I think this team loses in the first round. I don't think Russell Westbrook can lead a team. I don't think Anthony Davis can. Both those guys have had the opportunity to be the number one of a franchise, and they haven't really gotten close to getting it done. Neither have won a playoff series as number one options. I guess that 1 year when AD had Boogie, they won one series, I think, and then they lost in the second round. But you could argue Boogie was really a co-pilot in that sense. But I think if LeBron is healthy, he's the glue to maybe go all the way. I think LeBron's health is the difference between winning it all and losing in the first round. And I know, that's obvious. That happened last year. But I think it's even more so because you take his leadership and his intangibles and his experience out. I don't think Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and insert 3 other guys, that could be a disaster. That might be a team that doesn't make the playoffs if LeBron misses a significant amount of time. So I'm saying this right here, right now. LeBron James is the most important player in the NBA this upcoming season, and I'm not sure it's even close.
And here's the thing, too, with this Lakers roster, and I totally agree with what you said, and that goes to show you that LeBron James is still one of the best players in the NBA, and if he goes down, you're losing an MVP candidate. But it's not like the older players on this roster throughout their careers have been injury-prone. Anthony Davis is really the most brittle player on this roster, and he's 28 years old. And I understand that LeBron James has gone down with injuries in 2 of his 3 seasons seasons with Los Angeles. One of those seasons that he was able to stay healthy, they won the NBA title. But Carmelo Anthony, who's 37 years old, Trevor Ariza is 36, Kent Bazemore 32, AD at 28, Wayne Ellington 33, Marc Gasol at 36, Talen Horton-Tucker is the young gun at 20, Dwight Howard is 35, LeBron James is 36, Wesley Matthews, if he comes back, 34, Malik Monk 23, Kendrick Nunn 26, Rajon Rondo 35, and Russell Westbrook at 32. Name me a player on that list of guys who has consistently gone down with brittle injury issues. That's why I don't think that injuries are going to be a massive concern, and that's why I'm not kind of panicking about their age going into the season, because I understand the thought process that LeBron and Pelinka have. Their thought process is, we're going all in for this year, and the way that this roster is comprised, they have the opportunity to win yet another ring this year with this current makeup.
Make sure you guys are answering the question down below. Are the Lakers too old to win the championship this year? I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor of today's show. That, of course, is BetUS. Got more discussion on this topic in just a second. But the NFL is back, and you can go bet on whatever games you want to. For you Laker fans, we have a specific promo code for you guys. If you go to chatsports.com/Lakers, plug in the promo code Lakers125. You can get a 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100, get $125 for free. Go bet on LeBron for MVP. Those MVP odds are out. I think he's plus 1,200 last time I checked. Pretty good odds for a guy who I think is going to come back in a major, major way after missing the playoffs last year. Chatsports.com/Lakers. Use that promo code Lakers125. Answer the question of the day for us. Are the Lakers too old to win the title? You definitely say no. I don't think they are, but I do think we'll see a lot of load management for this reason. I think Frank Vogel knows that this is an aging roster, and he's going to have to handle this very, very strategically.
Which is totally fine, because let's say LeBron wants a night off. Anthony Davis maybe goes down with a lingering issue, or some of these older players on the roster do want to rest. You have Russell Westbrook, who barely misses a game, and he gives it 110% night in, night out, and you can count on him for 82 regular season games to go all in. But also, there's a blend and a combination of some of these older guys, but also young players who you can rely on during the regular season, not necessarily the playoffs, to shoulder some of that load if those older players do want to sit out. I'm okay with giving Malik Monk 10 to 15 shots coming off a season in which he connected on nearly 40% of his three-point attempts. I want to see more from the 20-year-old Talen Horton-Tucker. Kendrick Nunn has shown so far in his NBA career that any given night he can chime in with 15 to 20 points. So that's why I like how this roster has been comprised and put together, is because of course you have LeBron, who's 36, and he's been in the league since 2003 in that same draft class as Carmelo Anthony, who's now 37 years old. But if they want to take nights off, you have guys who can spell them, and it's not like Wayne Ellington at 33 years old is just totally washed. So you have a combination of a ball handler, rim attacker, and Russell Westbrook, who's not a great shooter, but you surround him with a Wayne Ellington and a Malik Monk, a guy who can drain threes. LeBron James can guard all five positions and do so much offensively. Anthony Davis has positional versatility. So there's so many different lineup options that Frank Vogel has at his disposal to go with his starters and his bench units as well.
I think when it comes down to it, Chase, is the Lakers don't care about the future. I mean,
that was my point.
That's essentially what it was. Now, I think they realized they made a mistake when they didn't trade for Kyle Lowry.
Should have.
At least they kept THT, because that was the, if you didn't re-sign him, then what was the point in not trading for Lowry? But I think all these moves signal one thing, is LeBron knows the clock is ticking. So he wants to win as many titles as he can. He may feel like he only has a 1 or 2 year window to still do this at a high level. So they're going all in this year, and you got to respect that, right? I mean, as a sports fan, what do you want? You want to be in the mix every year. The Lakers are in the mix just about every year. So,
and the West is wide open too, Harrison.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And, I mean, Vegas believes they're going to be in the mix as well, just right behind the Brooklyn Nets. And, again, if LeBron's healthy, they're the team to beat in the West. Maybe the team to beat in the NBA. It's as simple as that. Again, you can go bet on the Lakers to win the title with BetUS, chatsports.com/Lakers. But, this is an interesting basketball season coming up, because last year, funky, you get the Bucks and the Suns in the finals, Chase. The Lakers get hurt. They're not in the mix. LeBron goes down, AD misses time. All this stuff happens. all this free agency, all this movement across the NBA. I think the East has gotten stronger.
And if AD doesn't go down,
what happens?
The Lakers beat the Suns in the first round, and the Suns are the eventual NBA champion runner-up. I think you could make that argument that the Lakers, if they beat the Suns, which other team, when the Lakers were healthy, is taking down the Lakers in the playoffs in the West? I don't think there was one out there.
They're the team to beat in the West.
Because LeBron James was hobbled too, but still balling.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We love talking the Lakers here at Chat Sports. If you want to subscribe to our Lakers channel, it's youtube.com/LakersTV. Chase, season's less than 2 months away. It's about 5 weeks away.
NBA training camp tipping off September 28th.
Only
a couple weeks away.
Buckle up, baby. We're going to have you guys covered on the Lakers at youtube.com/LakersTV.